What's going on, YouTube? Our first upload of 2024, guys. Happy New Year, and we have a very special video today. We're gonna be going through all of my controller settings, my graphics settings, and my audio settings, guys. These are all the settings that got us to a 7KD in Resurgence and over 1,200 wins. And I feel like we've obviously put a lot of time into the game, and we've had a lot of time to fine-tune everything. So I'm excited to share this with you guys, and let's dive into it right now. Okay, first, let's dive into our controller settings, guys. I'm going to go through the things that I have different. All this is pretty normal, though. The first thing is my triggers. I do have my triggers flipped, so I shoot my top ones, not with my bottom ones. I think this is 100% the meta if you play on a PlayStation controller. If you play on Xbox, the top triggers are a little bit more clicky. So again, give it a try and see what you think. Next is controller vibration. In my opinion, I think you should have this off. I think it will help if you're shopping more consistent. And I don't know many top tier players that are using vibration, if any. So if you know one, leave one in the comments down below. Next is my dead zone. This is kind of personal preference. What dead zone does is it pretty much it tells you how sensitive your analog stick is going to be, right? So if you're pushing forward, how much do you have to push forward for your character to actually begin starting to move. So I have mine on 6. This is personal preference. If you have stick drift, you're gonna have to up this a bit, but just up it to the point where you have no stick drift. And then I would say give it a try and see how it goes. But this is personal preference. Okay, so next we're gonna be diving into our aiming settings. Obviously, you guys know I play on 20 sensitivity. This is a secret little setting that I recently changed that I think helps with your aim being a little bit more consistent. Make sure this is on 1. So to change this, you're gonna go all the way up and you're gonna go to custom, and then it'll allow you to change the sensitivity. But make sure this is on 1. And guys, I know a lot of people want to use 20 sensitivity just because I use it, but I just don't think that it's ideal. And I truly think that you'll probably be a better player on lower sensitivity. I talk about this on stream pretty often. I feel like I probably would be a better player on a 8 sensitivity or a 10 sensitivity, but I personally have more fun with the gameplay on 20, and I think it's fun. So that's why I use it. I don't necessarily think it is the best sensitivity to use. But again, if you want to use it, you want to have some fun with it, then go ahead and try it. And for my 20 sensitivity, I do use a 0.45 ADS. And you might be thinking this is very low, but for 20 sensitivity, this is probably equivalent to around a 0.9 if I was on 6.6. So this is probably the perfect middle ground for a 20 sensitivity, I would say. Okay, next, guys, I do not believe I have any of this changed. This is all default. Next thing I have changed is dynamic aim response curve type. This is going to allow you to aim a lot more smoother. It's going to make the aim assist stickier. Make sure you have this on dynamic, guys. Trust me on that. I do not believe I changed this, but if I did, make sure this is on 1. Instant. I believe these are all default. I recently changed this and turned this off, and I just used the default custom sensitivity per zoom. But if you want to throw this on, you could try it, and you could have different zooms, different sensitivities for each zoom. It's not something I like to mess with personally. I just keep it off. Aim assist type default. Black Ops does feel very good with long range weapons, but I found with SMGs it just feels a little bit weird. And I feel like the Black Ops aim assist is stickier, but that's not always better if you're trying to aim onto a different target quickly. So I like to have that just on default. And I believe all this is default. So let's go on to the gameplay. Okay, so our gameplay settings, we have automatic tactical sprint on. This is an absolute must in my opinion. There's a lot of people that worry about using this setting with shotguns and other single fire weapons. But again, guys, as long as you are moving side to side when you have the setting on, it's not going to make you sprint, right? And it'll allow you to shoot. So if you ever need to shoot, just move left or right on the analog stick and strafe, and it'll allow you to shoot any shotgun. I never have any problems with any shotguns or any single fire weapons. But slide maintain sprint, a lot of people have this on. I personally have it off. I feel like it was giving me a lot of dead slides. It was also messing with my proning. It could have been in my head, but personally I have this off. All this is default, I believe. This might be default, but again, just copy these settings, guys. Ground mantle, automatic airborne mantle, automatic ground mantle, slide only. This is a big setting that I think that you should have on if you don't already. The slide only makes it significantly faster for slide canceling, and I think it is a must. You can use just tap the slide if you want. Your slide cancel is going to be delayed about 2 times as slow. But you will be able to dive. So that's up to you guys what you want to do. But personally, I like slide only. I believe these are all the same. All the same movement base. This will just allow you to climb over things a little bit easier and do that pull-up animation a little bit quicker. I believe that these are all the same. This you want to prioritize interact on, so you're able to click things, pick up things faster, open doors faster. This is very important. And this, obviously, you just press the button. It's going to put on 3 plates instead of putting on 1 at a time, which I think is super important, critical to healing up fast. I do not think any of this has changed. All the same. Let's go on to our graphics settings. Okay, so next is our graphics settings, guys. I play on full screen exclusive. Make sure this is on, guys. It's gonna make your game smoother. It's gonna prioritize your game, and you're gonna have more frames with this on. So make sure this is on. Obviously, this is on 280, but if you don't have a good enough monitor, you're not gonna be able to use this setting. And if you don't have a good enough PC, there's really no point to have it anyways. And I play on 1440p. 1080p is obviously the default resolution for the game, but I do play on 1440p because my PC allows me to do so. And I believe that all this is the same. My brightness is on 55, but again, this is all going to depend on your monitor and whatnot. And I think these are all... just copy all these settings, guys. You don't want VSync on. This is going to cap your frames. You want to make sure that's off. Unlimited frame rate. And just copy all these. And let's go to quality. My graphics preset is custom. Obviously, you do not want to use any of the recommended graphics. And just copy these settings, guys, to maximize frames. This isn't going to give you the best looking game. But again, this is a good middle ground of giving you the most frames possible with the best graphics. So make sure you copy all this, guys. 75 on that. All this is off, I believe. Variable rate shading on, normal, low, off, low, very low, on, off, low, off, low, normal, off, normal, low. And again, this is just gonna be prioritizing the frames, guys. So make sure you copy these, okay? Field of view at 120. I think this is pretty important to have. You do not have to play at 120, but at the very minimum, I would play like 105. There's a couple pro players that play on 105 or 110, so it's absolutely fine. And obviously, you can play at a very high level at that. But I think when you start going below 105, you're really kind of getting more recoil on weapons. The higher FOV you have, the lower recoil you'll have. Obviously, this plays a massive part into this. Make sure this is unaffected. You do not want this on independent. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. So make sure that's unaffected. This is going to make your gun a bit smaller on the screen. It's going to take up less of your screen. I like to have this on wide. That's the image on the right there that it shows. And this will allow you to see more when you go to zoom in when you are parachuting down. This will allow you to kind of use the binoculars and see people if you're landing down, trying to make sure the place is safe that you're laying down in. Motion blur, this is for sure going to want to be off. Film grain at 0. These are at 50%. This is going to allow a little less camera shake. It's going to allow your shot to be a little bit more consistent, which I'm a big fan of personally. Okay, next is our audio settings. I don't really know how I feel about this, guys. You know, I've been pretty vocal about the audio in this game. The audio is not great. This is the thing that I've found is best for me right now, but until they update the audio or maybe I get a new headset, things could definitely change. But again, give this a try. Give different mixes a try with your headset and see what's best for you. Right now, I have PC speaker on and my master volume at 70, just due to my mix amp. I kind of control it from my mix amp, so I don't really worry about that too much. And obviously, you know, these are all up to you guys, but just pause the video if you need to see anything. And then finally, there's not much to see on this page, guys, but there is one thing I will touch on quickly. Obviously, you could put on a color filter, so it could make your game look a little bit prettier as well. And to do that, you would just change these colors and then obviously put this on like filter 1 and turn that to world if you want to put a little color filter in your game, especially if you're on console, which might be a little bit helpful. And for this, guys, make sure this is on square. I believe it is on square by default, but I know in Warzone 1, it was on circle by default. So make sure this is on square. It's going to allow you to see more. You can see those images on the right. It's pretty self-explanatory by looking at them, but make sure you have that on square. And I believe these are all default, but just in case you guys want to see it, here you go. And okay, guys, that is going to wrap up the settings for Warzone 3, guys. These settings have assisted me in getting to a 7 KD and over 1,200 wins in the game. I truly think if you change the settings that are necessary to change, it could double your KD inside a month if you do not have them changed already. And again, guys, for the dead zone, as far as the dead zone and sensitivity goes, these are things you have to test out for yourself and see if you like. A lot of these are subjective and you have to test them for yourself. So don't just copy everything. Give them a test and see what you like. And if you need to change them, then do so, because I want you guys frying. I want you guys to be the best players you could be. Anyways, guys, if any settings change, I will make an update video in the future. But for now, I will see you guys in the Twitch streams. Peace out.